everybody. Good morning. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio, as we welcome you this Thursday, this beautiful Thursday morning, as this weather is just phenomenal. It's just so good. It's just so good. It's amazing. In lieu of everything that's going on in the world, it's like in our own little, our own community, our own state, right here. We've got one of the most positive things right now, which is this weather that is absolutely gorgeous. As we did have a little bit of a thunderstorm kind of roll through yesterday afternoon, just like was forecasted. About a 40% chance as a storm kind of rolled in from where it was from Williston all the way through to Ocala and then some, but brought us just a little bit of rain and a little bit of lightning, but nothing crazy, with a little bit of wind. And as that moved out, it gave us a really cool evening as the lows got down into the 50s. Currently 57 degrees right now, as we got sunshine and high in the mid 70s today. Absolutely gorgeous, as that'll carry into tonight. Tonight, even cooler. Just a reminder that the spring season is there, as we're going to get down to 49 degrees tonight. And then for tomorrow, though, high of 84, so we're going to get up to mid-80s tomorrow as more of that beautiful weather comes through. However, there's a little rain in the forecast for the weekend, as they're calling for a 20% chance of showers after 9 a.m. with some mostly cloudy skies on Saturday. And that's going to pretty much carry on through the day with light and variable winds, with a chance of those showers through Saturday. Saturday's high is a little bit cooler, as we're in the mid-70s again. And then that leaks into Sunday with an even more strong chance of showers, mainly after 9 a.m. Cloudy with a high near 76, and the chance of rain on Sunday is 60%, as it is only 20% on Saturday. And then Monday, things are going to be kind of moving itself out. Sunday night, Monday morning, just that last little bit of a weak front moving through, as Sunday night showers likely mainly before 9 p.m., mostly cloudy with a low around 60 degrees. But then the skies part again, and the beginning of next week for Monday is looking good. There's a 30% chance in the morning for some showers, but then clearing out, partly sunny skies for the majority of the day, high near 82. So that carries on through the week of next week, of upper 80s, lows in the upper 50s, 60s, which lets you know that spring is still hanging around, and we're still getting a little rain, which is good, because usually May is a drier season nonetheless. Now, that's a good sign that we are still getting some rain within the area, which is real good. So enjoy the weather out there as that sunshine, and makes everything feel just a little bit better. That's the advantage we have here overall. As we've been motoring through the week, just trying to keep up the conversation of more things opening back up, wanting to hear what's going to be coming from the governor, if maybe we can get our county to move more forward with some of the phases, as we were talking about last week with County Commission. Kathy Bryant talking about what they had thrown out there, what they had mentioned to the governor of Tallahassee about what we can do here at the local level to move ourselves forward and the economy of our community forward, as we're going to see how that plays itself out. So with that, we have a good show for you lined up. Thursdays are always real good too. So Thursdays are a little special, because of course we have our veterans news, and that's going to make it for a good show today. So as we make our way, of course, to the bottom of the 7 o'clock hour, after that, we're going to get our conversation rolling. There's some few things that we can get started and get talking about, and then at 8 o'clock, of course, we'll be talking with Life South Community Blood Centers with Galen to see how their week went now that the elective surgeries are in full swing, and there's more and more conversations about whether or not to test yourself for the antibody for the COVID-19, and then also with the expectation of donating platelets and plasma. So there's a lot to talk about with Galen as we kind of wind down the week, and as we stay tuned for that. When we get to 8:30, we'll be doing bits of news that we can chew, as there's a little bit that happened yesterday that we can fill in. At 9 o'clock, of course, like we said, is on Thursdays, Veterans News, as we're still in the midst of what it takes to get these phases and guidelines. Basically, the phases moving forward. That means with Veterans News, we'll still have the call-in from Hank and Gary from the VA clinic there to roll with our Veterans News to keep you guys updated on any information that they're doing with the clinic. Like we said last week, when it'll be opening up and what they're expecting to do from there. So stay tuned for Veterans News, because there's a lot of good stuff that'll be coming information-wise that you'll want to be pertinent to. And then after that, we're gonna give a call to Lori Williams there at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens. We're gonna see what kind of specials they've got coming up. Obviously, we've been hearing the ads here for Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens with Mother's Day coming up on Sunday, and what that means for some of the flowers that we want to get for our moms, and what they have to offer. We'll be talking to her, see what kind of deals they got, and rolling with that. And then after that, we'll be having some fun stuff to get us to the top of the 10 o'clock hour. And at 10 o'clock, we'll be rolling with our segment On This Day in History, which is a good segment that we got going that kind of drums up some of the old fashions that we had back in our own country within on this date, but different years of the things that we might have not known or remembered as having happened in our history, which is a popular segment that everybody's starting to like, as we are going to roll that at 10 o'clock. And then at 10:30, which I know I'm looking forward to, just like we have every Thursday and we had last week, we're going to see where the expectations are for our community and getting things farther ahead with the idea of opening. And we can talk to and stay tuned for County Commission at 10:30, as we'll find out what they've been listening to with the governor and his protocol, see if he even got back to them, and what the next steps will be with the weeks to come. So stay tuned for that. So great show lined up for this Thursday, this beautiful Thursday overall. So as we say, good morning everybody who's listening. Good morning, Ocala. You're listening to 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, and we are streaming live, YouTube live, as always, broadcasting live from the Paddock Mall, as we announced a couple days ago that the Paddock Mall will be reopening tomorrow, May 8th. It'll be limited hours that they'll be running, but with the Paddock Mall reopening Friday, May 8th, the reduced hours of 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and noon to 5:30. So we're going to take a short little break, then when we come back, we'll get ourselves to the bottom of the 7 o'clock hour and get that conversation going to start your morning off right here, AM Ocala Live. So we'll be back right after this.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Howdy, folks. RL here to tell you about Dairy Queen. Dairy Queen Silver Springs has been serving yummy foods and ice cream made fresh to order for 46 years. Their gift cards are perfect for those you love for any occasion. Our ice cream cakes are awesome. And as far as grilled foods, DQ does it right. From grilled chicken to our famous foot-long chili dogs. So come on down to Dairy Queen Silver Springs, where we always treat you like kings and queens.
Hi, this is Will.
And this is Wendy of Dex Imaging in Gainesville and Ocala. You know, we live and work in this community just like you, and we wanted to personally invite you to call us with any questions or concerns about your copiers or printers.
Like, how can I save money on my toner? That stuff's expensive.
In most cases, a complimentary workflow analysis has shown we can save your business 20 to 30% on printing cost.
Have you been kicking around the idea of going paperless? Are you considering a document management solution? Maybe you just want to ask some questions, but don't want to be be bombarded by aggressive salespeople.
Give us a call. We'll be happy to answer your questions and show you how you can save money with our award-winning copiers and printers and our amazing service team.
Who, in case you didn't know, will be there in 4 hours or less to service your machine guaranteed, and we have a 97% first-time fix rate. Check us out at deximaging.com or give us a call.
In Ocala, dial 352-433-4090. That's 433-4090.
Nice today with plenty of sunshine, high 79 to 84. Tonight, clear and cool, low 54. Tomorrow, pleasant with plenty of sun, high 86 to 92. Saturday, comfortable with clouds and limited sunshine, high 88 to 93. Sunday, cloudy and cool with a couple of showers possible, high 74 to 78. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
WOCA.
Ocala.
Yeah, you're listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Good morning, everybody. As we're getting your Thursday started here, beautiful Thursday, as we mentioned. High of 77 today. Absolutely gorgeous, with absolutely clear blue skies this morning. As it is a little bit cool, it's actually dropped a little bit in temperature. I had the page pulled up, but then when I refreshed it saying it was 57, it actually had dropped a little bit right before the sun came up, as it's currently now 54 degrees. So it's a little bit chilly out there, so it's definitely some jacket weather, but what better way to enjoy a piping hot cup of coffee than on the back patio with a cool morning like this, knowing that it's going to get up there. These are the days, man. These are perfect weather conditions. Man, as a pilot, it's one of those days where it's like, yes, this is the time to go fly, absolutely. And with that, it's like one of two things. You got to be either flying or golfing on a day like this. And if you get the opportunity to do both, well, my friend, you are living the life. And then if you throw in a trifecta with hosting a radio show in the morning, then you're just living the dream. Anyway, we got a great show for you lined up this beautiful Thursday, like we were saying. As there's a lot going on, we had a good show yesterday. We had a lot through the pipeline there, as we had a lot of guests and a lot of interviews, and we were rolling through it. So today we got a little bit of the same, but we got a little bit more of our segments, so to speak. When we come back from the break, there's a little bit to talk about and to drum up to get the conversation rolling and see what's going on in the world. As obviously there is a lot, but we know always the foundation of the conversation is in lieu of COVID-19 and coronavirus. But it's funny, some of the things that are now kind of coming along with it, so to speak. For example, Wuhan and where China's responsibility with all of this and their fake numbers and the people that were trying to whistleblow and all this good stuff. But stay tuned. We're gonna dive into that here in a little bit as we come to the bottom of the 7 o'clock hour. Good morning, everybody. AM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, streaming live, YouTube Live, WOCA, The Source Radio. We will be back right after this. Stay tuned. Good show for you Thursday. Coming up.
USA Radio News with Chris Barnes.
Where diners can once again eat in restaurants with restrictions. Some officials warning against reopening too quickly. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo saying while his state has turned the corner.
You take New York out of the national numbers, the numbers for the rest of the nation are going up. They are going up.
It's also back to work in Iowa at a Tyson food plant.
Now under limited operations and being monitored by healthcare workers, including daily testing and other safety enhancements. After the plant shut down April 22nd amid over 400 positive tests of employees.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. And new jobless claims out this morning expected to show another 3 million Americans filing first-time claims. America's listening to Fox News.
When you go to the mechanic in here,
pass me the torque. Nope, let me have the flamethrower.
That sounds wrong. You know what else sounds wrong? When you hear about the interest you're earning on your savings with the largest banks. But with a Marcus by Goldman Sachs online savings account, you could earn much more interest. And hear this. Open a Marcus by Goldman Sachs online savings account in minutes at marcus.com. You can money.
Comparison made to the 3 largest U.S. banks measured by total deposits. Rates as of February 4th, 2020 and may vary by state. Goldman Sachs Bank USA, member FDIC.
Pros. Lowe's wants to help you keep working. That's why we're open for pro business hours 6 to 7 a.m. Monday through Saturday. You'll find the quantities you expect with dedicated pro associates and loaders to help you get what you need fast and load you up curbside. Now, more than ever, we know you need to win every single bid. You can count on Lowe's for special values on pro-trusted brands and savings when you buy in bulk. Save yourself a trip by shopping Lowe'sForPros.com, where we can ship thousands of items to your doorstep or to the job site. Lowe's is open and pro-ready.
News. The Paddock Mall Studios. This is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Say, if you're thinking of Mom this Mother's Day, then think of Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. Bob's rolling out some extra special deals for all moms, like a brand new shipment of roses, knockout roses, drift roses, hybrid tea roses, starting at only $19.99. Budded and blooming gardenias, they're beautiful and blooming, only $3.99. African violets, also just $3.99. Confederate jasmine, buy 2, you get 1 free. Great selections in pottery for Mom, starting at just $5.99. Now that's just the beginning. Many, many more just for Mom specials, and you don't even have to leave your car. That's at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens on Southeast 38th Street in Ocala. Daily till 4:30 in the same blooming place since 1952. And happy Mother's Day.
Hi, this is Brittany from Mike Scott Plumbing. I wanted to take a moment to let you know that during these tough times, Mike Scott Plumbing is still here, ready to help you in every way we can. We know life doesn't just stop, and when it breaks, we know your plumbing doesn't just magically start working again. Mike Scott Plumbing is taking every precaution to ensure your safety by following and exceeding all the guidelines set forth by the CDC for COVID-19, as well as local districts. As an essential business, we are operating at full capacity to ensure we get your problem solved day, night, or weekends. We're all in this together. We hope you are all staying safe during these trying times. And remember, if water runs through it, we do it. 866-314-4443. Call day or night. That number again is 866-314-4443. Mike Scott Plumbing.
Attention passengers for Flight 1370. The plane has been delayed at its departure point and will be at least 2 hours late. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Are you serious? It took us over an hour to get here, 2 hours going through security and getting our tickets, and now we have to wait another 2 hours.
Yeah, it's beautiful here, but we're inside this overcrowded airport all day because the plane is stuck in bad weather.
This is the last time we ever do this. When we get back, we're going to Ocala Aviation and getting our pilot's license.
Yeah, we've been talking about that long enough. It's about time we did it. Then we could just fly ourselves and never have to deal with this mess again.
Right. No long lines, no full body groping security, no baggage checks.
Not to mention never losing your luggage. Remind me again why we haven't done that?
Well, we're idiots.
Oh, right.
Attention all passengers for Flight 1370. It looks like the plane is going to be delayed a little bit longer. The airline has lost the pilot's luggage. Isn't it time you got your pilot's license? Call Ocala Aviation today. 352-861-7484. That's 352-861-7484. Hey, you've earned it. Call today.
Pals Ocala Auto Repair fixes all makes and models. Pals makes sure that your vehicle's engine, mechanical, and electrical components are healthy at all times. Pals team would much rather see you drive to their shop for a full checkup than be towed in for a complex repair. Give Pals a call today to schedule your next service appointment. 352-414-2984. What? A nationwide warranty, 36 months or 36,000 miles, whichever comes first? Pals looks forward to servicing you and servicing your vehicle. 352-414-2984.
WOCA.
Nice today with plenty of sunshine, high 79 to 84. Tonight, clear and cool, low 54. Tomorrow, pleasant with plenty of sun, high 86 to 92. Saturday, comfortable with clouds and limited sunshine, high 88 to 93. Sunday, cloudy and cool with a couple of showers possible, high 74 to 78. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
WOCA.
Listening to AIM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. Good morning, everybody. As it is 7:37, as we're making our way to the 7 o'clock hour here, getting everything started, AIM Ocala Live. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for listening. As we're waking you up this beautiful Thursday morning, as we were mentioning with the weather there before the bottom, it's going to be a beautiful day. That's one less thing to worry about, right? And it's one beautiful thing to talk about on a positive note, as it's currently 54 degrees with an expectation of high in the mid-70s today, with just a breath of wind there, about 9 to 11 miles an hour, as it's going to be coming towards the afternoon. So it's going to feel even better because there's going to be a nice breeze blowing, just beautiful northwest wind. And with that, we've been a little bit fortunate in the concepts of having, which is our drier season. It's our dry season right now, so to speak. As we know, come June 1st, it's the expectation of hurricane season. But with that comes the beginnings of what becomes our wet season. So we have the expectation of increased humidity and more of what becomes some of the push from the coast with the moisture, to where we start to get more of the afternoon thunderstorms that give us the consistency of having something usually happened around noon or thereafter with the buildup of the thunderstorms to where it rains, and that pretty much carries that trend all the way till about September or October. But with that, some other areas of Florida aren't as lucky right now in having the expectations of some of that rain to meet the need, if you will. So there's still a lot of areas that are very dry right now, considering we are in the dry season. But having been so, as of yesterday, this one hit a little close to home for me, having spent half my time in the state of Florida. Like you guys know, I'm from Ohio, but I've lived in Florida now for over a decade, or almost a decade. And, it was 2020, so over a decade. As I was in the Panhandle with the Pensacola area, and I worked at a flight school that was in what they call Milton, which is just a little ways up. It's across the Pensacola Bay. And with that being said, this one hit a little close to home, is Santa Rosa County, Florida, as yesterday, late Wednesday, is dealing with, and still are, with an incredible amount of wildfire rage that got out of control in Santa Rosa County late Wednesday in the Panhandle, destroying homes, forcing emergency evacuations, and shutting down 9 miles of Interstate 10, State Highway Interstate 10. Quote, "This is a rapidly evolving situation," said the Santa Rosa emergency management officials in a statement yesterday. It says, if you do not feel safe in your home, you should leave. Take your pets with you. It says here at least 500 people have been evacuated and 18 homes have been destroyed, as the Florida Forest Service and officials said in a Wednesday night conference, news conference. The fire consumed 150 acres on Monday, officials said, and as of Wednesday, had burned 2,000 acres. And it was just 20% contained when officials spoke about it at 9 p.m. Now, the fire started as a prescribed burn, and for here in Florida, that's pretty common for what we do this time of year. We get beautiful days like this after we know that there's some consistency where the winds will be, and what our forestry service is, and the our State Department here with Florida, they end up doing the prescribed burns to knock down some of the vegetation that could become tender, if you will, to increase the chance of wildfires. So they do control or prescribed burns this time of year, and like they're saying is this was a prescribed burn on Monday that then quickly grew out of control by Wednesday, a day and a half later, as it was located just 10 miles east of Pensacola's Cordova Mall. Just to give somebody an idea, that's how close we're talking, 10 miles away from where you would cross the bridge to get into the city of Pensacola. Officials closed a portion of I-10 at about 2 p.m. as the blaze, which has become named the 5-Mile Swamp Fire, jumped across the highway. The fire started on private property. The Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office says it will investigate how it got out of hand, and Governor Ron DeSantis will speak from Santa Rosa County on Thursday, as the local officials say. The National Weather Service issued a red flag warning for most of northwest Florida on Wednesday due to and warning that the dry weather conditions could promote the rapid spread of all fires in the area. Now, the 5-Mile Swamp Fire was one of 3 wildfires burning in northwest Florida. So to give you an idea of, yes, we're saying dry season, we've been a little bit fortunate to get the rain we have, but it's missed a lot of the areas in the panhandle. So with northwest Florida, like they said, has dry weather conditions that have promoted it, so to speak. Now, the 5-Mile Swamp was one of 3 wildfires burning in northwest Florida. The Hearst Hammock Fire, which burned in nearby Escambia County, had burned 60 acres as of Wednesday and was 40% contained. The other fire was also in Santa Rosa County and had burned 70 acres by Wednesday night, which was just 20% contained. Now, the Florida Forest Service spokesman, Joe Swizerkowski, said significant resources are being used to fight the fires. Among those resources are multiple helicopters, almost 20 bulldozers, and dozens of firefighters from northwest Florida and other parts of the state to do their part to try to contain these blazes. Jacksonville Mayor Lenny Curry said on a Twitter that the state requested resources to help fight the fire and that he was going to send a team of 5 engines from Jacksonville to the northwest Florida area to help. Almost all of Florida has had less than usual rainfall this year. And what's incredible is we know within our county we've actually had more this dry season as of late for the last few months. It's incredible how it's hit or miss. But this year, dryness helped fuel the fires on Wednesday. And according to the National Weather Service, meteorologist Jack Cullen, who's based in the Mobile, Alabama area office, said, but the winds are the real culprit in helping spread the blaze. As Pensacola's drought condition is abnormally dry, he said, what made this fire today was the wind to go along with the dry conditions and the low humidity. Now, when they do a lot of these prescribed burns, they have an expectation of where and how the winds are going to be for that day, so they, obviously can control it. Like for today, for example, if there were going to be some prescribed burns within the county, it's an expectation that we know it's a north-northwest wind, 9 to 11 miles an hour. It's actually a really good day to do that. But when you start to see some things change, which weather can do because we're not perfect in the forecast of it, that's what leads to some of the instances like this. As the dry weather will continue in the Panhandle, Cullen said, suggesting that there will be little help from Mother Nature to control the fire until the chance of rain grows this weekend. So the talks of what we were mentioning earlier before the bottom of the hour about the idea of having some rain this weekend, obviously we know as it moves from west to east, there's an opportunity for some of this weak front to bring some rainfall to the Panhandle, but that's not coming, or the expectation of that isn't coming till Friday afternoon, tomorrow afternoon into Saturday. So with that being said, they say, I encourage all Floridians to be aware of the fire danger, exercise caution, follow directives from state and local officials to help protect our fellow residents. The Florida Agricultural Commission, Nikki Fried, said in a statement issued Wednesday to stay safe. Now, Cullen said that the fire got out of control on Wednesday because of the cold front that had entered the region overnight. The front with it brought winds that were 15 to 25 miles per hour. It caused a dip in the humidity levels, which made it even drier with the air. And this, along with the area being 5 inches below the typical rainfall for the year, is what made perfect conditions for the fire to escalate. The drought conditions in the Panhandle is not as bad as other parts of Florida, as they said, including Tampa Bay. Now, Fried announced on Wednesday that the Central Florida is under a fire watch until further notice, with the same expectations of having more dry areas and less humidity in the air, which is what makes today so beautiful, is what makes it not feel so hot even when we get in the 80s tomorrow, is not having so much of that moisture in the air. With Southwest Florida in currently what is considered a severe drought, according to the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, or the NOAA, while most of the Pasco and Hillsborough counties are in moderate drought. And, when we mention that Southwest Florida, we're talking the Everglades, which, is swamp and all that, and they're drying up a little bit for this time of year, a little bit more abnormally than such. The National Weather Service meteorologist Dan Sobian in Ruskin said that the drought was a bigger concern for Tampa Bay a month ago, before thunderstorms began dumping rain on the region the past 2 weeks. The rainfall that we had a few days back did help a lot. Now, the place in Florida that is really lacking the rainfall right now is the Southwest, like the Everglades up through Naples and Fort Myers. Now, some of the rain should come to Southwest Florida this weekend, potentially taking the region out of what they consider to be classification of severe drought. And Tampa Bay will also get some rain, as well as us here in Marion County, with the expectation of that to be 60% come Sunday. But it's too soon to tell how much. There's a pretty good amount of rain coming this weekend. It'll be good here for us, especially for the Naples and everybody down south. It's even drier down there than it is in the Panhandle, where these fires are. So just a heads up there. Like I said, that one hit a little closer to home with the 5-mile swamp fire. Like we said, actually shutting down about a 2-mile stretch of our state interstate of I-10, and it's still not 100%, still not contained, 100% contained, which is very cautious, especially too now because, like we were mentioning too, with the conditions as such, we don't see rain till maybe the weekend. And with that being said, there's still quite a bit of dry, warm weather expected before they get a chance for the rain over there. Now, their forecast for that area of the Northwest Florida area in the Panhandle is sunny, clear skies with winds 10 miles an hour, which like to see it maybe right now with it being more calm, that they can start to, as calm as far as the winds go, kind of help try to battle that and get that more and more contained as then they're expecting more of a chance of rain come Friday night, but not until Friday night. So hopefully they can get that rain sooner than later. We're going to take a short little break as we make our way to the top of the 8 o'clock hour. You're listening to AM Ocala Live, 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. And like we said, we got some rain. We got some weather that's been absolutely phenomenal. And with the dry season, we've been getting a little bit here. As I said, it's just hit or miss. Florida's a big state. It's a big state. Let's just hope that the hurricanes stay away. Tropical storm's not so bad. If you think about it, it brings some wind, but it also brings a lot of rain. Have a few of those come through, but keep the heavy stuff away. Anyway, you're listening to 96.3 FM, 1370 AM. We'll be back right after this.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Say, if you're thinking of Mom this Mother's Day, then think of Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. Bob's rolling out some extra special deals for all moms, like a brand new shipment of roses, knockout roses, drift roses, hybrid tea roses, starting at only $19.99. Budded and blooming gardenias, they're beautiful and blooming, only $3.99. African violets, also just $3.99. Confederate jasmine, buy two, you get one free. Great selections in pottery for Mom, starting at just $5.99. Now that's just the beginning. Many, many more just for Mom specials, and you don't even have to leave your car. That's at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens on Southeast 38th Street in Ocala. Daily till 4:30 in the same blooming place since 1952. And happy Mother's Day.
Hi, this is Brittany from Mike Scott Plumbing. I wanted to take a moment to let you know that during these tough times, Mike Scott Plumbing is still here, ready to help you in every way we can. We know life doesn't just stop, and when it breaks, we know your plumbing doesn't just magically start working again. Mike Scott Plumbing is taking every precaution to ensure your safety by following and exceeding all the guidelines set forth by the CDC for COVID-19, as well as local districts. As an essential business, we are operating at full capacity to ensure we get your problem solved day, night, or weekends. We're all in this together. We hope you are all staying safe during these trying times. And remember, if water runs through it, we do it. 866-314-4443. Call day or night. That number again is 866-314-4443. Mike Scott Plumbing.
Nice today with plenty of sunshine, high 79 to 84. Tonight, clear and cool, low 54. Tomorrow, pleasant with plenty of sun, high 86 to 92. Saturday, comfortable with clouds and limited sunshine, high 88 to 93. Sunday, cloudy and cool with a couple of showers possible, high 74 to 78. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Brian May.
WOCA. Ocala.
Listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, The Source. Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. As you're listening to the show here, we were just talking about, before that little break, about the dryness in northwest Florida that's led to a few of the controlled burns that kind of got out of hand, that now has burned up more than 2,000 acres as they're trying to get that under control, and we're going to see how that works out for the day, as they're still having an expectation of some winds and some lower humidity weather that makes that just a little bit challenging. But as we were talking about that a little bit, it is fascinating to think, reading farther along in the article, just how, like we said, the rest of the state is impacted by the dryness of this season. Yet here we are, Marion County, and we've actually kind of talked about the amounts of rainfall that we've had from March, the end of March, through April. April's been kind of a wet month for us here, getting it just the way we need it. A few days lined up of beautiful sunshine, and then a little frontal move, and then the next thing you know, we got some good, nice, steady, light rainfall that moves through, or like the front that comes through and ends up bringing us some heavy rain along with winds, but then moves itself out to give us a few more days. But like they said, the impact of this dry weather really impacting southwest Florida, like we said, with the Everglades and all that, as we've only got truly just a few more weeks before we get into the expected wet season. Like we know, June 1st is considered hurricane season, the beginning of it. And it is because of how the weather patterns change now for the summertime, and the expectations of, obviously, what everybody knows coming from the coast of Africa and kind of building up with some of the moisture, not only from what's in the Gulf, but from the Atlantic. And with that kind of brings us an opportunity for more of type low pressure systems and all that brings us the rain. But the biggest thing that contributes to our so-called wet season is, just like here we know in Florida, the afternoon thunderstorms. And I guess for some areas, they're ready for that. They're ready for that season before it gets out of hand, so to speak. As we were mentioning that, a little something else to bring about as we are making our way to the top of the 8 o'clock hour. We're going to be talking with Galen, Life South Community Blood Centers. When we've been talking with Galen, one of the big things that's been mentioned is, now in lieu of COVID-19, is whether or not think you've had it. They're looking for people who know they have been diagnosed with it and got through it, for the idea of the antibody test. Now, it says here, and as they come up national news, as this was updated today, it says coronavirus antibody tests are available around the country. And then it says this, and I'm starting to leave a lot of these articles in lieu of what comes from these information that comes from these articles, kind of basically a big grain of salt, if you will, for a lot of this. But here's the article. Coronavirus antibody tests are available around the country, and here's why they may provide a false sense of security. To click on the article before, it was how saying experts say not to do them yet. Anyway, medical experts have some advice for Americans thinking about getting the coronavirus antibody tests. Don't. Okay, yeah, all right. Now it says don't, at least not until the questionable ones have been weeded out, and scientists know whether people who have survived COVID-19 are immune to the virus. Interesting. It says until then, some scientists say manufacturers should stop advertising the antibody tests for as little as $25 that many Americans are using to decide if they can safely stop social distancing and returning to work, in lieu of them rendering the test to see if they've already had it and developed antibodies. Nicole Carslan Hartzell said that she felt invincible after an antibody test for COVID-19 at an urgent care in Brighton, Michigan. And she reported what she said was no active infection, no prior infection, and no evidence of immunity. Knowing I wasn't infected here, quote, I immediately visited my niece and hugged my sister, who is reasons she could not transmit the coronavirus at that moment. The novelty of it quickly wore off, as once I was home and I saw my husband, I was no longer superhuman and could not guarantee anything anymore. And the other idea of it, it says experts say people should be careful about how they interpret and act on the results of COVID-19 antibody tests. They haven't been validated by government regulators. There's your grain of salt. Any antibody tests may give people a false sense of security. Carmen Kadoka Hoda, jeez, oh, Croy, these names, good Lord, Kamran Kadakahoda, medical director of the immunopathology at the Cleveland Clinic in Ohio. Test manufacturers say, quote, should stop offering them until we know more. Now, during the past few months, many people with symptoms of COVID-19 were told to stay home and not use up the scarce diagnostic tests that should confirm that they were infected with the coronavirus. There was little doctors could do, and whether someone had a diagnosis or not. So interesting. We're going to talk more about that as we roll on with the show. But it's always something. Just when you thought like, oh, hey, I'll think about doing that, then there's something else that comes along, and some experts telling you, no, hold on a minute. So anyway, as we come to the top of the 8 o'clock hour, stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to have Life South Community Blood Centers. We'll be talking with Galen. Stay tuned. WOCA Ocala back after this.
Fox News, I'm Chris Foster. The weekly unemployment report this morning is expected to show a lot more layoffs from the coronavirus outbreak, with tomorrow's monthly report expected to be the worst in history. President Trump says the job losses are artificially induced.
This was where we said we're taking the greatest economy in the history of the world, because that's what it was. Most people in our country, almost 160 million people, we would never close. And we had to turn it off.
The Chinese government again denies the virus originated in a lab there and refuses to let foreign visitors in.
Beijing's ambassador to the United Nations said that once a final victory is declared over coronavirus, access may be granted. Tensions remain high between the United States and China as the Trump administration doubled down this week, blaming the Chinese of hiding COVID-19 information. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said during a briefing that China has an obligation to open up and be transparent.
Fox's Trey Yingst. America's listening to Fox News.